It's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and we are back. We have been on, we've been doing something. I got a new desk for my craft room, and I had to completely rearrange everything just so I could set it up, and it took me some time. So that's the reason why y'all haven't seen any new videos come out. And you know, as crafters, when you make one mess in one place, then you make another mess somewhere else, and you gotta clean it up. I made a big mess. It looked like a bomb went off in my house, but it's good because I got rid of a lot of stuff, and it's going to the thrift store. It's not there yet. It's sitting at my front door, and yeah, you wouldn't believe the stuff I'm getting rid of. So anyway, let's get on with today's project. Yeah, this is going to be something that I haven't tried yet, and we're going to see if this is going to work. It's an idea I had when I was cleaning out my craft room, and I was fixing some holes in the wall, and we're going to see if it works. So stay tuned, and let's see if it works, and let's get the show started. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Where's that button? I can't find the button to pause the... It didn't pause it. No!
Okay, we're at the craft desk, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this envelope and we're going to do some inking on this envelope. I'm going to take one of my older ink pads, and I'm going to take and just turn it over, and I'm going to take and start rubbing the ink onto the envelope, and y'all are going to see the new part that I'm going to try to do here in a few minutes. Okay, now this is just any old envelope we could have gotten out of the mail stuff. Alright, now we've got this all inked up, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take, in my cleaning out my craft room, I had to fix some spots in the wall, and with that I used this dry spackling. Now the spackling is pink. Okay, let me get this lid off here. It's pink. Now what I'm going to attempt to do is use this, like, this is what it looks like. Comes in a bucket like this. You can get it in smaller amounts. It's spackling. Now my question that I had is, once this dries on here, is it going to crack off? That's what we're going to find out, and that's the question we're going to ask ourselves, is can we use this like we use modeling paste? So we're going to find out today. So I'm going to take my stencil, lay it down. I got me a piece of cardstock. I folded it in half to get it kind of stiff so that I can scoop me out some of this spackling stuff. Now this stuff is pink when it's in the bucket. Let me get me some out. You can use one of those little plastic cards that come in the mail, and we're just gonna hang on just a minute, because this let me go get one of those plastic cards, because that's not stiff enough. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I got us a card now. So I'm gonna grab some of this paste or spackling. I'm gonna press down on my stencil, and I'm gonna spread it just like I would modeling paste over the areas that I want to be used, and then I'm going to scrape the rest back in the bucket. Now this is pink when it goes on, but it's supposed to dry white, so I'm scraping off what I don't want on there and putting the rest back in the bucket, just like I would if I was doing spackling a wall. Now I'm going to lift up my stencil off of there, and you can see where I pushed it under that one section right here, and it kind of messed that up. So I could take my little card and just pull right along that edge and clean that up and clean it off of there. I'm gonna wipe that off and throw it down here in the garbage because that has ink in it. I'm gonna clean it off there. Now, while we're waiting on this to dry, we're gonna work on something else. Okay, so we're gonna set this card to the side that's got stuff on it, and my stencil. You should go wash your stencils off right away. And when this is dry, it'll turn white. But my question is once it turns white, is it gonna crack off of here? So we will find out. We're gonna answer that question here today on the Crafty Art Shack. If it works, that's great because I have a lot of this and it's cheaper. So make sure I close up my container really good because we don't want this to dry out, especially if it's gonna work. Okay, now we're gonna set this to the side, and while that's setting to the side, I pre-cut a card to go inside this envelope that'll show through that window right there. Okay, so what I want to do is put something that's going to be over that window, and I picked out this little paper right here, and this is a adhesive piece of paper. I didn't even know I had this paper until I was going through my craft stuff, and I was like, whoa, check this out. I had this paper and didn't even know I had it. It's an adhesive backed paper. So we're going to pull over the little cutter here, and we're going to cut a piece of this. Now we could cut just a small piece of it to cover where the window's going to go. But I'm going to cut a piece that's approximately the size of the card. So I'm going to take that and kind of mark out where that's going to be, and I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller. And that way we can save some of this paper for our other projects. I'll put this back over here to the side. And I hope y'all have had a great 4th of July, and I'm peeling the adhesive back off of this. This is really thin, so I hope that it covers this well. And I want to make sure I cover where that wind is going to be. It covers it good enough for what I'm going to need. Okay, so that's going to be my card that's going to go on the inside. We'll put that on once the thing has dried. And we're going to pause the video till this paper's dried, and then we'll go from there. I'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back. I went and dried this with a heat gun. I found out 2 things. Yeah, here's one of Crafty Art Shack's another things we get to find out on the fly. Okay, the vellum window that was in this when I used the heat gun on it, some of you other crafters may have known this, but it's the first time I found this out. This stuff kind of works like shrinky dink. So that may be something we harvest those little vellum windows for, is to make some shrinky dink projects and see how well they work out. We'll find out on another video. So we're going to throw the window away. Okay, what I found out about this is it does tend to, it is working really well on here. What I will tell you is the areas that where I didn't press it down really good on there into the envelope, it did pop off. But the places where I pressed it down really good, it seems to be holding on to the envelope really well. And it works somewhat like modeling paste. It is not really bendable. But we're going to be making this into a card. So we're going to place our card in here that's going into the window. I mean, yeah, we're going to be making this a card for our junk journal anyway. A writing card. So we're going to be placing this in here, and this is going to make this stiff. But we probably want to make a longer card to fill up the full envelope. So we're going to take this back out, and we are going to grab a larger card and make it extend the full part of the envelope. We'll save this card, or actually we'll use both cards to make it even stiffer for this envelope. But what we want to do is we want to make sure we have a card that is long enough to go into that envelope so that it has enough backing behind this little project here that we put on here. And we want to make sure that we have it tall enough as well. So this card does not have to have this on it, because we're going to place this one in front, and we're just going to glue this one right down to that one. We're just going to use this one as our backer. So let's get our cutter over here, and can y'all see? Do I have enough light in here? You guys are going to have to kind of help me with this new setup I've got going on here. I may have to change it a couple of times to kind of get me to where I want to be as far as lighting and camera position and everything. Okay, we're going to take that back, bring this back over here. Now we're going to get our trusty old glue stick out here, and we're going to put down some glue on the back of this card, because we want to stick this one to this one, because really all we wanted to do was extend this other card to make it long enough for this envelope. Well, let's see how we did. Yep, perfect. Now we're going to add a little bit of glue to this. If y'all knew that that envelope was gonna turn into like Shrinky Dink from using a heat gun or a blow dryer on it, y'all leave me a comment below and let me know. Okay, so I glued that side. Now what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of glue on this side to kind of tack this side down, glue that side down, and then I'm gonna take and close up my envelope. And I'm going to glue that down. That doesn't want to stay stuck. Alright, let's get a different glue out here. Get out my little bitty. This
Might be. See if it comes out. I haven't been in here gluing stuff in about a week or so because I've been changing the craft room around. Alright, where's that safety pin at? Not the safety pin, the pen. Where's my pen? Alright. You can close this one up. I'll work on this one off camera. Let's try this bottle of glue. Let's see if this one works. Alright, you guys.
Here we go. Let's try this glue. There we go. Success. And we're just going to glue that down. Wipe up the excess. excess, you know, that. Put the pin back in the top of that. Yeah. Try finding the hole on that when you have blonde. Alright, where's the baby wipe? My hand's got glue on it. Y'all know how I am. I can't stand to have messy fingers. Alrighty. Now, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to put a tab on this. So while this is drying here with the glue, make sure I got that all glued down. Yep, got enough glue on that. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And this is what we have on the back. We're probably going to do some more inking on that. Let's go ahead and ink up the back of this while we got it here. Just because we want to. And then let's get another color stamp ink out. We're going to get some red out. And let's put a stamp on this for, I've got this stamp right here. And we're going to put that right here. And I'm going to turn this over, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink from this side of my block this way and fill in. Okay, then I'm going to turn it over, drop it down, and then press. And that didn't come out real dark, did it? And then I'm going to take and tap my Dream Big on there and stamp it right on there. And that came out really good. So we'll go with that. And then we're going to close up this ink, set it to the side, put these stamps over here, and then I'm going to, we're going to let this dry. While that's drying, we're going to take and make a tab. Now I'm going to show you how to make this tab. This is a plastic one. You could use this, but because I'm doing a paper journal, I wanted to make me some tabs that I could make out of some pretty,
You know, what's it called? That stuff. Pretty cardstock. Or make it out of book pages and stuff like that. So what I
did is I took this little one here, which if you have one of those papers that you get from the Dollar Tree, those tabs that are dividers for your books, for children's school books or notebooks, you can use the edge of that, just lay it down just like this, and this is how I did it. I traced around just like this. You want to make sure you're holding it still, and then I came down and went around. Now what I did from there is you just fold on that line right there, just like that. Okay, and then you take your scissors and you start right here, kind of round down and follow your line. Cut that. Then you're going to go across the bottom just like this. Then you're going to go, my line's not straight, but I'm going to make it straight as I cut it. And that's not too straight, so I'm going to straighten it up. Straighten it up, and then I'm going to cut that little curve up, curve around, and back around. You want to make sure that you do that little curve there, because that gives you that little cutout there and over here. Doesn't show as much on this side, but how you make it is you come over here and you cut your circle, that rounded edge, a little bit more. until you get it to look like you want it to. And that's what you should have, and when you fold it, that's what it'll look like. Then you could take this and lay it down on your pretty book pages or your pretty scrapbook paper, and you have a template now to make tabs. Or you can make them out of index cards or scraps like this of your mailers, and then cover them with pretty book pages or whatever. But that's how I made that. Now what we're going to do with these is we are going to take that and we are going to cover it with this. If I can get it to open up. There we go. Now I'm just going to take and lay that out. I'm going to put this, press it down onto there. Probably doing this the hard way. And then I'm going to take and cut that. I can see it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I can see where the edge of that is. And then I'm going to just pull it off of there. And then I'll just trim away the excess. And stick it back on there. And then I'll come in here, trim away the excess in here. You could fold it and cut it if you could see it really well, but I'm doing this so I can show y'all what it looks like, because if I folded that, y'all wouldn't be able to see it on camera. And you just go right in here and you cut out these little sections right here. Just like that. And any little pieces I have left, I'm going to just fold them over. And then I'm going to cut this off. Now, this is our little tab that we have left. And this is what it looks like when it's closed. Okay, now, throw the trash away. Move this out of the way.
I got stuff stuck to my fingers. Okay, let's get our little card back over here.
Now, we could put this on this way, or we could put it on this way. I think this way would be better. And I'm going to stick that to that corner right there. And glue that down. That's where I want it. So now I'm going to put, I still got a little piece there I'm going to trim off. Alright, now I'm going to put me some more glue in here. Make sure we put plenty in here so that when I close it up on there, it closes up on the tab and it closes up on the envelope.
Put my little pen back in. Yeah, about that.
I'm gonna have to work on fixing that. Alright. I'm going to put this tab right there at the edge, right there, and I'm going to press down and squeeze out any excess glue. Wipe that off. Now, what I like to do is I have these little clips. You can use I like to take these little clips while I'm waiting on stuff to dry because I get impatient. You could use these kind of clips as well, but you're going to take, and I put these on there while I'm trying to do other stuff, like put this pen back in my glue, put that on there and let it dry. Now I can turn it over. Actually, I want to come in here because my window opened up on my envelope, and I'm going to put some glue down in here and close that up really good because I don't want that popping up. And I'm going to do the same over here and right here. Make sure those edges are all glued down. If that window had stayed in there, I could have not worried about it. Now, close my glue back up, and this is what we have so far. So far we have a cute little journal card, and now what I need to do, or what I want to do, is I want to decorate the back of it so that it's ready to be written on the back of. So I've picked out a few pieces of paper with writing space on them. Or this one might work better. It's a little bigger. We've got two of these. Or let me see, I might have another piece that might be a little better. Might have like, that might be too big. That's probably too big. Let me see, I might have one more piece that might be a little better. Yep, I think that one's perfect. Okay, so we're going to use this piece and we're going to glue it down, and then we will put some kind of trim on it. I think we can take these off now. Put those back over here. I'm going to take and move this to the side. Get my glue paper back over here. And I'm going to, let's see, do we want the holes to this side or do we want them to that side? Maybe that side. Okay, let's ink this up a little bit around the edges. Just
to make it look fancy. Are we going to go with black, or do we want to go with brown? Or what color do we want to go with? You tell me. How about we go with some black? If I can get it. Let's go with some black. Am I shaking the desk too much for the camera? I want to try to do everything I'm going to do to this paper before I put it on the envelope, because I don't want to do too much to the envelope because I did that
balloon on there with the spackling. And I think over here on this side I'm going to do, I have this balloon right here, and I'm going to do it in the red. And we will see, this is going to be the top of my page. So let's
put it down here. In that corner. Oh, that turned out beautiful. I like that. And then we're going to take the big dream and get some of that in the red and put it up here at the top. And
dream big, not big dream. Okay, and then we're going to turn it over and we're going to put plenty of glue on it. Go all the way to the edges, because we want it to stick down everywhere. And I'm using the glue stick because this is thinner paper. Make sure we got plenty of glue on it. See, I got glue on the front side too. I'm going to stick this over here, move this out of the way. And I'm going to stick it down.
Maybe. Make sure everything is on my
envelope. Got a little bit of time to play with it and adjust it. Get stuff off the mat. And close up my glue stick. Alright, let's add a little bit of trim to this. Get this stuff out of the way.
It turned out really pretty. I like that red on there. Okay, let's add some lace to this. Since we got red, let's go with a piece of red lace. How about, trying to find the end of it. How about this? Put that right there. Okay, so let's trim it this way. And let's stick that down right there, or maybe like this. What you think? Yeah, that turned out pretty like that. Alright, fabric to fabric. Where's that other glue at? I'm going to use this one. I'll make sure I put plenty of glue down. I love me some red. My girls, they know I like red. Okay. And then,
Let's see. Do we need to add something to this front side? This front side still needs something, doesn't it? What do we need to do over here? This side looks finished. Let me get that excess glue off. This side still needs something, I think. Let me think about this. Okay, I got out this Crafter Square glitter glue that I got from the Dollar Tree. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some little designs to the balloon just to give this side a little bit more color. And I'm going to go right up here at the top, and I'm going to color the top of my balloon, and I'm going to color one of these stripes. I'm going to put some little dots down the edge of it just to give it color as I'm going down the edge, this side, just to make it a little bit more decorative. This is going to be a journaling card, and I'm doing every other stripe of the balloon with some little dots down the edge of it, and I'm trying to get smaller as I go down towards the bottom. And then I'm going to color this little section in here. I'm going to put a little line on there. There's some of the red. Put some glitter on it, just to give it a little color. And then I'm going to come over here to where my bird was, and I'm going to take and add some color to his wings just to make him stand out, because he didn't stand out too well because this side was inked black. So I'm going to just kind of paint his wings in with this glue, the glitter glue, just where it's red. And I'm just doing his wings, I'm not doing the whole thing. And I'm kind of just feathering it out. Not making solid lines, I'm making kind of like a feathered look. And then doing a little bit of hair on his belly. So it kind of looks like a bird, not just a blob. Can y'all see what I'm doing? And I think that's all I'm going to do on that part. Just do his wings right there. And then I think I'm going to get out. Okay, I've got out my pigmented La Plume markers, and one end is a brush and one end is a fine tip, and I've got out the red ones so that I could kind of outline the red and the black. And what I'm going to do is kind of outline here the stamp that I put on here, because like I said, it didn't show up very well. And I'm going to see if I can't enhance that some so it stands out. Normally I don't do all this work with the stamp things because they do pretty good. This is the first time I've had one that didn't do so well. And I'm going to kind of go around the bird's head and his tail feathers down here. And then I'm going to come back with the red, because I kind of wanted to get that, since it's the air balloon, I wanted to get the air effect and everything. Like airmail. You know what I'm talking about? Airmail? No? Maybe? Anyway. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's the effect I'm trying to get. I don't want to mess up my markers either. Try to keep that glue off of there. Might come back around that after it dries. Alright, let's see if we can't do some fill in here. Give it some brush strokes in here. Kind of fill it in what I didn't fill in with the glitter. And by using several different colors, you can do some of the shading that affect on the bird. And I'm using the brush end of it, and you want to use, that one really doesn't have any much ink in it. You want to use, like if your light's coming from this way, you want to use the lighter color on top and use the darker color on bottom for your lighting, to cause it to have that lighter, brighter effect on the top parts and the darker one on the bottom. You do that with painting, you do that with any type of artwork that you're doing. You'll want to do that with it because it helps do the shadowing and everything. I think this has helped bring this out a lot better than what it was. Kind of tell it's a bird now, where before we couldn't tell it was a bird. But I'm not real crazy about it. But we'll go from there. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go around this window here and kind of darken that up. Just for the effect of the window. And then I'm going to kind of go around this for the effect. And I can't flip it over just yet because all this hasn't dried. But this is going to be our little journaling card for our journal, one of our journals. We're going to set this to the side and let it dry. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Crafty
Art Shack and hope that you will join us again. Thank you. We'll see you later. Bye. Bye. It's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack. We are back in the craft room, and we've been making some changes. Got a new craft disc, and because of that, I had to clean up my craft room, and I had to get rid of some stuff, and I had to make some big changes. That's the reason why you haven't seen me. But we're back, and we're going to be posting every Wednesday and Friday from here on out. And so, with the big changes, now we're back in the craft room, and okay, so, now, what's been going on? Got a craft desk, told you about that, yeah. Been doing a lot of thinking while I was cleaning up my craft room, and you know how hard it is for crafters to get rid of their stuff. Yeah, and when you clean one room, it seems to create a bigger mess in another room, and another room. I had the whole house look like a bomb went off because I had so much stuff packed into my craft room. So, needless to say, I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff. It's going to the thrift store that I'm not personally using anymore. Was it hard to part with it? Yes. Do I want to part with it? It's still sitting at my front door. Am I having withdrawals from parting with it? Yes. Oh, you know, there's a fine line between crafters as to whether it is hoarding or whether it is we're keeping it because we will use it. And as crafters, we do use it because we find ways to use things that most people would not use those items. And so parting with items makes it very hard. Yes, it's very hard to part with those items. Yeah, it is. So, anyway, on with today's video. We are going to be trying something I've never tried before. So, let's get this show started. Where's that pause button? Where's that pause button? I moved everything in the craft room. I gotta find all the stuff now.